And let's bring in Robert Riggs, Middle East geopolitical risk consultant, to talk more about this. Robert, thanks as always for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What does it mean that Hezbollah is confirming the death of Hassan Nasrallah?
Well, this death of Nasrallah really can't be underestimated or over exaggerated, because he was probably one of the most well-known Arab leaders since Jamal Abdel Nasser a generation ago, the Egyptian president. He led not just the Lebanese Hezbollah, but he also was able to galvanize a number of other armed militant groups in the region. Of course, he supported Hamas. His group helped train Hamas fighters inside of Lebanon. He supported the Houthis and sent Lebanese Hezbollah to train them in their fight against the Saudis over the last 10 years. He was very closely connected to the Iranian leadership. In fact, probably one of the most closely connected leaders across the Arab world to the leadership of Iran. And really, he was considered, kind of a strategic mastermind, right? The fact that he was able to survive for 32 years, and he was the one who triggered the war in 2006 by having his militants attack the Israelis and take some of them hostage across the border, which triggered that war, which he then was able to claim a victory and build up internal political support in Lebanon. So really a very almost larger than life figure across the Middle East.
Well, how does something like this happen then? He's been virtually invisible for years now, yet Israel knew where he and the others were gathering. Does this tell you that there are informants within Hezbollah?
Well, I think that Israel's now decided that, for years they've had human intelligence inside Lebanon. Lebanon is a country, almost a failed state in the Middle East, with porous borders and easy access. Like, anybody can go to Lebanon very easily get a free visa at the airport. And so, there's lots of spies in Lebanon. And I think the Israelis have been gathering intelligence on Nasrallah for many years, and they probably knew where this central command was based. But, until this current war started a year ago and kind of continued to ramp up, and despite many threats by the Israelis against Nasrallah and telling him to stop firing rockets in support of Hamas, he continued to do so. And so, they knew where he was. Probably the pager attacks was able to disrupt communications, which caused more of the senior leadership of Hezbollah to have to meet in person rather than through other communications means. And then that was able to kind of drive them to one location. That's my best guess.
And I guess the question is now, who's in charge? Is there anybody?
Well, right. There are lots of mid-level leaders. Hezbollah works sort of like communist cells, where you only know a few people in your small circles, and then there's upper leadership that communicate with those leaders and kind of fragments down. So Hezbollah will continue to fight, but now the intensification of this war is probably going to begin, because Hassan Nasrallah was viewed as one who was preventing Hezbollah from launching the majority of its missiles and drones against Israel for different reasons. But now, with him gone and many of the other senior leaders out of the picture, it may become more chaotic at the mid and lower levels. And if Israel invades southern Lebanon, which I'm not certain that they will do, but they may, things will get even more messy, I believe.
Okay. Robert, thank you as always for your insight.
Thank you very much. It's always great to speak with you.
Robert Riggs is a Middle East geopolitical risk consultant.